A cockroach can survive things that seem almost impossible. It can live in harsh environments, survive long periods without food, escape through tiny cracks, and adapt to a changing world for more than 300 million years. Few creatures on Earth have such an incredible survival history. But then something strange happens. The same insect that has survived millions of years of evolution can suddenly become completely helpless after one simple accident. It falls onto its back, its 6 legs move desperately in the air, yet it cannot return to its feet. And that creates one of nature's most fascinating questions. How can one of the toughest survivors on Earth lose a battle against something as ordinary as a smooth floor? The answer is not because cockroaches are weak. In fact, the truth is the complete opposite. Cockroaches are one of evolution's greatest survival machines. They appeared long before humans existed and survived through dramatic changes that eliminated countless other species. Their bodies were not created for beauty or speed alone, they were designed for one purpose above everything else: survival. But here is the unexpected twist. The same biological features that help a cockroach survive in the wild can become its greatest weakness inside our modern homes. A design that worked perfectly for millions of years suddenly struggles against an environment that evolution never prepared for. The secret begins with the cockroach's unusual body structure. Unlike humans, cockroaches do not have bones inside their bodies. Instead, they wear a protective outer shell called an exoskeleton. This hard layer acts like natural armor, protecting their organs, supporting their muscles, and helping them survive physical stress. But every advantage in nature comes with a hidden cost. A cockroach's body is naturally top-heavy because much of its weight sits above its small legs. When everything is working correctly, this design gives it incredible speed, balance, and the ability to escape danger almost instantly. A healthy cockroach is constantly making tiny adjustments with its legs to keep itself upright. Every movement is controlled by a complex connection between its nervous system and muscles. It is a small biological machine performing thousands of corrections every second. But what happens when that perfect coordination begins to fail? What happens when the signals controlling those tiny movements become damaged or disrupted? That is the moment when the cockroach's greatest strength becomes its greatest weakness. Because the real battle is not against another creature. It is a hidden battle between biology, gravity, and the laws of physics. And the most surprising part is this: the flaw beneath the cockroach may play a bigger role in its death than the poison, injury, or weakness that caused it to fall. Because the mystery does not begin when the cockroach stops moving. It begins the moment its body starts losing control. When a cockroach suddenly flips onto its back, most people assume the answer is simple: it is already dead. But that is not usually what happens. In many cases, the cockroach is still alive, still fighting, and still trying to regain control of its body. The real problem begins inside its nervous system. Every movement a cockroach makes depends on thousands of electrical signals traveling between its nerves and muscles. These signals allow its 6 legs to move together with incredible precision, helping it run, climb, and escape danger within milliseconds. But when those signals become disrupted, everything changes. This is exactly how many insecticides work. They do not simply stop the cockroach from breathing. Instead, they attack the communication system that controls its muscles and movement. As the nervous system begins to fail, the cockroach loses coordination. Its legs may still move, but they no longer work as a team. Some muscles contract at the wrong time, others stop responding, and the carefully controlled movements become random and chaotic. This is why a poisoned cockroach often begins to shake and twitch before falling over. The insect is not losing because it has become weak instantly. It is losing because its own body is no longer following the commands needed to survive. But here comes the biggest twist. Falling onto its back is not the actual cause of death. A healthy cockroach can often recover from this position. It uses its legs to push against the ground, moves its body from side to side, and creates enough momentum to flip itself upright again. In nature, this ability can mean the difference between life and death. So why does it fail inside our homes? The answer is something incredibly simple. Friction. In the natural world, cockroaches live on rough surfaces. Soil, tree bark, stones, and fallen leaves provide countless tiny points where their legs can grab and push. Even a small crack can become the support they need to turn their bodies over. But modern homes have changed the rules. Smooth tiles, polished marble, and shiny floors remove almost every surface the cockroach can use. Its legs continue moving, but they cannot create enough grip. It is like trying to climb a glass wall with nothing to hold onto. Imagine trying to stand up on a frozen lake while wearing completely smooth shoes. You can push with all your strength, but without traction, your body simply slides instead of moving forward. That is exactly what happens to the cockroach. It is not defeated because it lacks strength. It is defeated because the environment has removed the one thing its body depends on most. And once the struggle continues for too long, another enemy appears. Time. Every failed attempt consumes energy. Every movement weakens the muscles further. And for a creature already damaged by poison, dehydration, or age, the chance of recovery becomes smaller with every passing second. But there is still one final mystery. If cockroaches are such incredible survivors, why did evolution leave them with this strange weakness? The answer reveals something fascinating about how nature designs every living creature. As the cockroach continues struggling on its back, its body slowly reaches its limit. The legs that were once powerful tools for escape begin to lose their strength. Every attempt to flip over requires energy, but every failed attempt takes even more energy away. Eventually, the movements become slower. The signals from the nervous system weaken. The muscles can no longer produce enough force. And the creature that survived millions of years of evolution finally reaches a moment where it can no longer overcome its environment. But here is another surprising fact. Not every upside-down cockroach has been killed by insecticide. Some die naturally in exactly the same position. As they grow older, their muscles become weaker, their reflexes slow down, and their ability to recover from a fall becomes limited. In a forest, that weakness may never become a problem. Rough surfaces give them opportunities to grab, push, and recover. But inside a modern home, a perfectly smooth floor removes that advantage completely. And this creates one of nature's strangest contradictions. The cockroach evolved for a world full of obstacles, rough ground, tree bark, stones, and natural surfaces. But humans accidentally created an environment that works against one of its most important survival abilities. The enemy is not a powerful predator. It is not a massive explosion. It is not even a deadly weapon. Sometimes, the greatest challenge is simply a surface too smooth to escape. This is what makes the cockroach paradox so fascinating. A creature that can survive extreme conditions can still have a weakness hidden in its own design. Because evolution does not create perfect creatures. It creates creatures that are perfectly adapted to a specific environment. Change the environment, and even the greatest survivors can struggle. So the next time you see a cockroach lying upside down, remember what you are really witnessing. You are not just seeing an insect that failed. You are seeing the final moment of a battle between millions of years of evolution and the simple laws of physics. The cockroach was built to survive. But survival is never about being unstoppable. It is about having the right tools for the right world. And sometimes, the smallest change in that world can turn nature's greatest survivor into one of its most unexpected victims.